On 2.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They'll take that. 14 yards on play number 1. CD, always more eyes on these night games, and they started it off nicely there on that one.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. Don't think for a second these players don't know and understand that. They want to impress their peers across the league. They also want to win the ball game. That's the way to get things going.
Back to Mixon on first down, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
The Bengals hit 3-0 here in the month of September. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
11 MT, take.
Now it's Burrow.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase, complete.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 40. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. So now 1st and 10 as they crossed into Miami territory right at the 40. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of the team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week, we're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10
at their own 17-yard line.
Here's the leading rusher amongst rookies last season, Najee Harris.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. Off of play action, Tagovailoa toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
From the 39,
Tua. Open man is Waddle, complete.
They find some open field here. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. And a short gain down to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now, this defense for the Bengals, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Out of the gun on 3rd down, here's Tua.
Another catch there for Waddle. And he is going to have the Dolphins' first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. They'll get him to the ground at the 20, following a pickup of 4. The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. run with Harris off the option.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up first and goal. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Here's Tua. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on 2nd down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
Tua now, 3rd and goal. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Also a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while, but when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the Jets sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
Burrow on 3rd down. And he will find his man on the outside.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Burrow.
This goes out wide for Mixon.
Just a gain of a couple there. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's caught inside the 20.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
I'm pretty sure any quarterback will tell you it's nice to have a tight end that can stretch the field. And how about him right there, working in the heart of the defense, and they connect on a very nice play downfield, a combination of talent and toughness to go into the briar patch.
On 1, right?
Burrow looking to pass. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Hayden Hurst, his 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 11.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And that is incomplete.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Tua sets up to pass it. Open man, Lamb. It's complete. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. So 2nd and long, you got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete.
From the 6 now on 2nd and 3.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Caught on a slant.
And the Dolphins are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
First down catch there by Jalen Waddle. What a promising debut for the 6th overall pick in the 2021 draft. Led all rookies with 104 receptions, mainly catching passes from his college teammate, Tua Tagovailoa.
Now Tua just going to back this forward on the end around. And he is going to lose yardage here. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Looking to pass. Tua. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's 3rd and goal. Tua, the final shot before half. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Sanders' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this 3rd quarter. This one fielded at the 5.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Hey, Charles, we saw pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Tua's throw pulled in by Lamb. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Tua going to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Play action. Now it's Tua. He's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete on the deep ball.
But we saw that they had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Being chased out left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Ready, break.
They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. Got a man. It's Waddle, complete. And he will have a Dolphins first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Now Tua. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Amon-Ra St. Brown. 35 yards. And the Dolphins have come back to make it a 2-point game. They're going to run it with Harris. And he's not going to get there. So they come up empty on the 2-point conversion, and they are unable to tie up this football game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and wide.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Damone Clark, and the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
After the turnover, it's Tua. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle, 44 yards. And the Dolphins have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead is up to 5. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. The Bengals drive about to get going.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Now Burrow on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the 2nd half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. This is caught. It's Boyd. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Here we go.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Burrow will throw. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. first down. Here's Burrow. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Bengals. Jamar Chase with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Bengals answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth-quarter lead. So a big play coming up for the Bengals as they'll indeed go for 2. They'll let Mixon try and run it in. And no, incomplete. They can't convert. So they tried to bump the lead up to a field goal. Instead, it stays at 1 here in the fourth.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
A lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They're passing here. Joe Burrow.
That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bengals are able to build on to their fourth-quarter lead.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Still plenty of time here in the fourth quarter. Just a one-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa.
Open man is Waddle, complete.
And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
92 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
I used to joke with my teammates who carried the ball a lot. When we got in these situations and they were carrying us home, I used to tell them, boy, you guys just look like Paul Bunyan, just growing stronger, bigger, tougher. And all night long, he's carried this team.
He has indeed. Everything magnified right now. A huge third down conversion. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Tua. It's brought in by Harris.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. He gets this complete to Shaheen, the tight end.
And he'll be marked out at about the 26-yard line.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown.
Najee Harris,
his 1st touchdown on the year.
And the Dolphins have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th.
So now a big play here as the Dolphins will go for the 2.
Tagovailoa.
And he's going to be sacked. They came after him. He couldn't get away. And this remains a 2-point game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll try to eat some clock with Mixon. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Now the Dolphins going to burn the 1st of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence and playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Throwing now is Joe Burrow.
That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41.
60 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Here we go with Burrow. And he's got Hurst, his tight end.
He's got room at the 30.
And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that makes this a 9-point game.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining.
Pick it up.
One final try for Tagovailoa. Looking deep downfield. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little too late now.
I would agree with that, and we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
That's caught for the additional 2 points. It'll only matter to the final score line, and that is the final act of this game. Well, at least at the very end, there was something to take away. They lost the game, but got in the end zone, got a 2-point conversion as well. I don't know, though. In the end, you still lost the football game.
You still lost the game, but maybe they were just capitalizing on the flurry at the end, right? You scored the touchdown.